Sakinah wants $1 million by the time she's 65 and a home to call her own. As she reaches her 35th birthday this year, this Singaporean is starting her investment portfolio from scratch.
I'm aiming to reach $1 million. So how achievable is this, and what would you recommend that I do?
I think it's all about how you want to save towards that goal.
Sakinah has savings of $20,000. But Chris suggests that she keep that as her emergency fund, making sure that it reaches 6 months of her salary.
I would suggest that we don't touch your current savings of $20,000 and you put that in a high-yield savings account, and that can earn you a little bit of interest, but anytime you want to take it out, at least you can do so.
With that settled, Sakinah needs to answer one question. How much does she want to save every month? She decides that she will set aside $800.
You start from zero, and then on a monthly basis, you just save $800, and your first $800 just goes into the investments.
Chris paints 3 financial scenarios for Sakinah.
The different scenarios, scenario A, B, and C, essentially the average return of 5%, 8%, and 15%. So 15% is a little unrealistic because it's very hard to get that kind of consistency. But 5% is something that I think is achievable and realistic also. And what that entails is the instrument type basically having a 60-40 split of your portfolio. So 60% goes into slightly riskier assets like stocks, ETFs, that gives you a higher return, and then 40% goes into fixed income, bonds, or high-yielding fixed deposits, and that keeps your portfolio safer as well.
Sakinah chooses the conservative path.
Over the course of 5%, you can see in 28 years you would have amassed a total of over $1 million in your account, assuming that as you continue to save, your $800 also continues to grow as your salary also grows with you as well.
Chris also explains the engines that drive wealth creation: dollar cost averaging, compounding, and dividends.
Regardless of how the market is doing, regardless of how the different instruments maybe are priced at that time, you go in on a very regular basis. Say on a monthly basis, you're going to buy X amount of this, X amount of that in a very disciplined manner. And that helps you average your overall cost depending on whether the market is up or down, over the longer time, so that you have a good average price. So even, let's say in the first year you invest $10,000, at 5% you expect to earn $500. But the next year, your base amount is $10,500, and that grows at 5% as well. The power of compounding is very powerful. So if we punch in, even with a zero starting amount, but you are consistently saving $800 a month at a return rate, you can see that over the course of 30 years, you can get to over $1 million, and this is, something that is very achievable and quite reasonable as well. If you invest in various types of asset classes that constantly pay you interest, then in a way you're getting paid for investing or saving. It's always a pleasant surprise to receive dividends.
Sakinah's $1 million goal is similar to that of many young people. In a Money Mind survey, 54% of Gen Zs in Singapore said they would need at least $1 million to achieve financial freedom by the age of 55. And like many people, Sakinah has more than one goal that she wants to achieve.
I really hope to achieve a certain level of financial freedom. And honestly, what it means to me is 3 main things. Number 1 would be really to be able to afford a house to call my own. Number 2 would be able to support my parents and give them allowance as they are soon to retire. And number 3 is really to work by choice and not by necessity.
Sakinah turns 35 this year, and that means she's eligible to buy a resale HDB flat. She's targeting a 3 or 4 room home near her parents. Her budget is about $500,000. With the grants that she might qualify for, she could pay the down payment and service the loan using her CPF alone. She won't have to dip into her investment portfolio, allowing it to grow and compound. So she can concentrate fully on making sure she sets aside the $800 every month for her investment portfolio. Sakinah allocates about 15% of her monthly salary to her parents' allowance. About 20% of her salary goes to her bills. She tries to save a similar amount every month. The remainder is discretionary spending, like shopping and food delivery. Sakinah knows that if she cuts back here, she will be able to save more to invest.
I would work at segmenting a portion of my salary towards investing, and I would reckon that how I would go about that is really to, watch how much I order food online, and also to also manage my online shopping habits. I do have a tendency to, browse through whenever I get a notification. So we should always, based on what we earn, segment a portion first before looking at the rest of the amount to segment to other areas of my expenses. So what other advice would you give someone in their 30s to build wealth?
The moment you get your salary or any windfall, the first thing you do is get into the markets in that disciplined manner that you have set out to do for your longer term journey. So you go into that 60-40 investing. Then after that, you pay off your bills, make sure that you don't carry bad debt on a monthly basis. And then after that, you can have the rest of your funds, splurging or rewarding yourself for the short term for the hard work that you have done. And that's how pay yourself first would be a great concept.
I didn't think that achieving that 1 million portfolio goal was achievable. However, taking into consideration what I've learned over the chat, I realized that discipline and really putting your mind into wanting to really set aside your money for the sake of building more wealth is something that is possible with a bit of planning, a bit of education in terms of reading up or, learning more about how a beginner, like someone like myself, would be able to achieve and grow her wealth.